Before we jump into today's episode, I have some exciting news to share. The Empowered Educator Show has been recognized by Million Podcasts as one of the top 100 career change podcasts for 2026. And I'm honored to share that we're ranked number 19. That's 19 out of 100. Thank you so much for being part of this incredible community of educators and leaders. Your support, your downloads, reviews, and your shares have made this possible. If you would like to see the complete top 100 list, I've included a link in today's show notes. What if the biggest mistake that you can make in the final days before school starts is trying to make everything perfect? You know what I mean, guys. The signs aren't exactly where you want them. There are still boxes in the office. Someone hasn't finished setting up their classroom. Or the floors aren't ready for them to set up their classrooms. The website needs one more update. You just realized there's a procedure that you haven't communicated. The copier isn't cooperating. But somehow you're convinced that if you could just work a few more hours, make a few more lists, maybe send a few more emails, and personally touch every single detail, then you'll finally be ready. Guess what? Your school doesn't have to be perfect when students walk through the doors. They're not going to know if it is anyway. It needs to be ready enough to begin well. And there is a huge difference. So if you're a principal sitting in your office right now thinking there is still so much to do, then this episode is for you. Because today we're talking about what you actually need to focus on during the final days and what you need to stop sweating. Let's get started.
The three systems of leadership: leading, learning, logistics. Go the extra mile, motivate, inspire. Go the extra mile, lead, empower. Principles take action. Let's go, fuel your passion. Go the extra mile. Let's go. Principles take action. Motivate, inspire. Go the extra mile. Lead, empower.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Empowered Educator Show. I'm your host, Dr. Mel. It is almost time, guys. At my school, we're about a week and a half away from school. Actually, we're just a little over a week because today is Friday already. I have completely lost track of the days because I've been so busy trying to get everything done. One of the hardest transitions for a new principal is realizing that leadership is not about personally completing everything. Leadership is actually about making sure that the important things get done and creating the conditions for other people to help make them happen. At this point, at the end of your summer, you don't need another 47-item to-do list. You need clarity about what matters most. I want you to put your priorities into 4 buckets. Number 1, get the essentials ready. Number 2, delegate what doesn't require you to do it. Number 3, protect teacher capacity during in-service. And 4, pay special attention to your new staff. There may be a few other buckets, but these are the 4 important ones that I'm going to hit on today. So let's talk about getting the essentials ready because not everything has to be perfect. Here's where I want you to take a breath. There are things that absolutely need to be done before the students arrive, guys. Your master schedule, the class list, safety procedures, transportation, communication systems, technology, the list goes on. But there are also things that are simply just nice to have. And you have to learn to distinguish between those two things. Because here's what happens to principals in August. Everything starts to feel urgent. Everything on my list is starting to feel urgent. A bulletin board isn't finished. I noticed a bulletin board that wasn't completed when I was talking to someone yesterday. And guess what? I'm like, hey, you're the art teacher. Can you make a bulletin board for this using our new school theme? And guess what? She was happy to do it. And everything else feels urgent. The office needs a different sign. Urgent. Someone hasn't organized their filing cabinet. Urgent. The staff lounge isn't Pinterest worthy. Urgent. Guess what? Our staff lounge, I don't even know where our staff lounge is at this point. And I'm reasonably sure that it's filled with boxes of curriculum at this point. Just a quick reminder that if everything is urgent, you've actually prioritized absolutely nothing. Your job is to ask, will this materially affect our ability to open schools successfully? If the answer is no, it can probably wait. That's not lowering your standards. That's leadership judgment. Here's another one. Delegation. I've told you about delay, delete, or delegate. And I know that that word can make some principals nervous, especially new principals. You think, it's faster if I just do it myself. And guess what? Sometimes it is, but that's not the point. If you continually do things because you're the fastest person to do them, you create a system that depends on you and one that you can never leave. You can't take a day off because the school will fall apart. And that's a dangerous place to be. You've got teachers who are willing to help. You've got assistant principals, secretaries, custodians, instructional coaches, department chairs, teacher leaders. I even have a student who's helping this summer. You have people who know how to do things that you didn't even know needed to be done. I was worried about the curriculum getting finished because last year I didn't think about that. I was the new superintendent. My principal took care of that. I didn't worry about curriculum getting ordered and getting to the room that it needed to be in. So this year, I had to do the ordering, and then it started all coming in, and we have all of these massive amounts of boxes. And I'm like, okay, so we need to get the curriculum taken care of. And my assistant principal, who was a classroom teacher last year, she's like, but Miss So-and-so does that. I'm like, okay, I didn't know that. Wonderful. Let Miss So-and-so do it. And that took a huge load off of my chest and out of my head. Let people help you. They are willing to do so. And here's the most important part. Don't delegate only the things that you don't want to do. Delegate things that give other people ownership. Maybe someone wants to organize the staff welcome area. Let them. Maybe a teacher leader wants to help with new teacher orientation. Let them do it. Maybe someone is great at technology and offers to help get everything set up. Let them. Especially in a district where you maybe don't have tech people on site. I don't have tech people on site at my school, so we have to submit a ticket and wait. If someone can do something and set up some technology for teachers that don't know how to do it, I don't have time to do it. I know how, but I don't have time to do it, so I'm going to let them do that. Your goal is not to be the person who knows everything. Your goal is to build a team where everything doesn't depend on you. In return, you're creating a system that can function without you, the principal, touching every piece. Now, let's talk about Teacher In-Service Week. This is where I think principals can unintentionally sabotage themselves. Actually, I kind of did that last year as a superintendent. You've got everyone together, so you think, we finally have everybody in the same room. Let's tell them everything. And before you know it, you've created a 6-hour meeting, 3 professional development sessions, 47 announcements, a new initiative, a new form, a new process, and enough information to make everybody's head spin. We started new teacher orientation yesterday, and I was standing up there telling them all of these things that I thought they needed to know. But I was very careful not to just overload them with information because they're not going to remember all of it anyway. So I told them the important things, and then I told them that I would give them a buddy. I would pair them with someone in proximity that made sense, that could answer the questions that they're going to have because they're new to the campus. So ask yourself what absolutely has to be communicated before students arrive. Then communicate that. What can be put into a document, put it into a document and share it. Have a hub where they can go to find this information. What can be handled by department chairs or teacher leaders? Delegate it. What can wait until September? Let it wait until September. And here's another thing. Give teachers time to work. Not fake work time where you give them 45 minutes and then interrupt them with another announcement. Give them real time. Give them time in their classrooms. I created our teacher in-service schedule, and I actually scheduled it on our document so they know exactly what times they have to work in their classrooms. Give them time with their teams. Give them some planning time. Be available to help them with creating lesson plans, especially your new staff. Give them time to think and give them time to breathe. And if you can schedule it in your TIS week, then schedule maybe a little field trip off campus. When I worked at a school, we went bowling one time. We also, as a leadership team, went to an escape room. We had a great time just kicking back, getting to know each other. This year, I've also scheduled a PD day. We call it a PD camp with another school. So my teachers and those teachers, because there's only one teacher per grade level in both of our schools, they get to collaborate with each other. And last, I've already mentioned this, focus on your new staff. If you have new teachers or new administrators or new staff members walking into your building, and it's going to be a pretty good guess that you do because most schools do, and it's awesome if you don't, but pay attention to them. Not because your veteran staff doesn't matter. They absolutely matter. But your veteran staff already know how your school works. Your new people do not. Think about everything that you know without even realizing you know it. Where do I park? Who do I call when the copier doesn't work? How do I submit a maintenance request? One of the staff members that was new to my campus that came yesterday for our teacher in service, he came into the admin building first, and I told him we were going to be meeting in the media center in the other building, and he looked at me like I had grown a third eye. And I'm like, you have no clue where the media center is. Actually, some of my staff that's been on there, one who was a sub last year and one who worked summer academy, they didn't realize that the media center is actually the library. So I had three perplexed people who didn't know where to go. Think about those kind of things. There are so many of these little things that we don't think about anymore. We just do it. But when you're new, they're not small. They're the things that make you feel like you belong or like you're on your own. So don't just hand your new staff a folder and say, welcome to the school. Get to know them. Ask, tell me about yourself. What are you excited about? What are you nervous about? What do you need from me? And maybe most importantly, what haven't we told you yet that you need to know? Yesterday, when we ended our first session with our new teachers, I just said, do you guys have any questions? What questions do you have? What can we help you with? Sometimes the thing a new teacher needs isn't another training. It's a person. Someone who can say, come with me, I will show you. Here's a little something that I've learned over the years. The final days before school starts reveals your leadership habits. If you're frantic, if you're trying to control every detail, if you're doing everyone's job, if you're adding more and more to the staff agenda, you may not have a back to school problem. You may have a leadership system problem, but that's okay because you can fix it. But don't fix it by working harder. Fix it by asking better questions. What actually matters? Who is the best equipped to handle it? What can wait? What does my staff need from me right now? What does my new staff need that my veteran staff doesn't? Those questions will get you much further than another color-coded checklist. So here's your power action. I want you to take out your back-to-school to-do list and divide everything remaining into 3 categories. And if you're like me, you're marking that list off as you complete it. But your 3 categories are must-do, things that absolutely have to be done before students arrive. Delegate is your next one. These are the things that someone else can do and may actually do better than you. And then your last one is let it go. Things that would be nice, but actually don't matter right now. Here's the challenge. Actually delegate something. Don't just move it to someone else's list. Give them ownership. Don't give it to them just to pull it back later. Then I want you to take some of that time that you just created and spend it with your people, especially that new staff of yours. Because 10 minutes of genuine conversation with every new teacher may accomplish more for your school culture than another hour of that prep work. So principal, take a breath. You're probably closer than you think. The building doesn't have to be perfect. Every bulletin board doesn't have to be finished. Every question doesn't have to be answered. And every system doesn't have to be flawless. School is going to start, guys. And once those doors open, you're going to learn things you couldn't possibly have predicted in August. And that's normal. Your job isn't to eliminate every problem before the first day. Your job is to build enough clarity and trust and structure that when problems inevitably come, and they will, you and your team know how to respond. So don't spend the final days trying to prove that you can do everything. Lead your people. Protect their capacity. Protect your capacity. Trust your capable people. Welcome your new staff. Give your teachers time to prepare and let a few things be imperfect. Sometimes the most powerful thing that you can do as a principal is decide what doesn't need your attention. So go lead with clarity, confidence, and purpose. And remember, you don't have to be the one to do it all to lead it well. And don't forget to go the extra mile to motivate, inspire, lead, and empower. If today's episode gave you something that you can actually use, hit subscribe so you don't miss the next episode of the Empowered Educator Show. Every week, I'm here to help you lead with more clarity, build systems that actually work, and stop carrying everything on your shoulders. Subscribe now, and let's move from surviving leadership to leading with purpose.
Principles take action.